Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschadya Dishadharine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaur Bhaktarinda Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasati Gaur Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai 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 Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Nitai Sachi Sundara Nitai Sachi Sundar Nitai Sachi Sundar Jaya Nitai Sachi Sundar Nitai Sachi Sundar Jaya Nitai Sachi Sundara Nitai Sachi Sundar Jaya Nitai Sachi Sundar Giri Govardhan Jaya 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 Giri Govardhan Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Jaya Prabhupada Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Gaura Premanandi Hari Hari Bol. Welcome everyone, welcome Amit, welcome Amrita Rate, Mataji, Prakash, Hare Krishna. I hope you're all well tonight. So, what shall we discuss? Amit, well, yes, the thumb comes up. Good. Amrita Rate Mataji, give us a verse of Bhagavad Gītā. What we shall discuss. Oh, I can hardly hear you. Very faint.
I'll have to think about it, Prabhu. I've not thought of it. If Amit Prabhu wants, he can suggest. Otherwise, I'll have to see.
What verse? Chapter?
I'm looking into it, Prabhu. I don't have
Okay.
any
No, Prabhu,
verse.
I think she was suggesting that she just needs to find one. So she suggests I can try to find one.
Okay, I'm waiting.
What about
What about?
find one?
Say that again, Amit. Say again, Amit. You.
Prabhu, Hare Krishna.
Yes. Yes. I can hear you now.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Come. Keep close. Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes. Can you hear me?
1866.
Oh, we had said so many times, Sarvadharman Parityaja Mamikam Sharanam Vraja. It's a
Yeah, sorry,
very, very important verse. But find something else. So many times. 1866. Very important verse. So most important or second most important verse of Bhagavad Gītā. Amrita Radhe Mataji, if we say 1866 is the second most...
1866. Yeah, sorry, my reception is a bit bad today.
Okay.
I'm just getting onto my laptop. Hopefully that might be better.
Thank you. Amrita Radhe Mataji, question for you. If we say 1866 is the second most important verse, what is then the most important verse?
Manmana
Yes, thank you. Yes, so there is a discussion. Which one is more important? For most of my life, I thought 1866 was the most important, but I changed my mind. 1865 is even more important. Okay, what? A verse. Not 1865 and not 1866. Something else.
Okay, 931.
931. Let's look what's that. 931. You should actually prepare a verse in advance. 931. Oh, very nice verse. Okay. Very nice verse. 931. Let's share that screen. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Amit, chant us Sanskrit, please. Amit?
Sorry, Prabhu, I was on mute.
Yes. Sanskrit.
I was talking it and I was on mute.
Yeah, that is very frustrating. wasting so much talk, breath. Okay, Sanskrit.
Is Brahmavati Dharmatma. Tasvachatil Nigachati. Yatya
Nigachati, yes.
Yeah. Kunteya Ratijani.
Yep.
Name Bhakta Prana Prana Syati.
Pranashyati. Yeah.
Pranashyati.
And not name, like in Edwin, Eric. Name Bhakta Pranashyati. These two last lines are very well known. Kaunteya pratichani name bhakta pranashyati. So it's worthwhile of remembering that. Okay, translation of it.
He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee never perishes.
That sounds pretty nice, huh? My devotee never perishes. What does that mean, perishes? Amit, you are the master of English language. What would you say?
Yeah, my devotee means he never stops believing or never stops.
It's never destroyed. Is never destroyed, is never vanquished, is never defeated, all of that. So, because in this material world, we are defeated all the time, at every step. So, O son of Kunti, who is the son of Kunti? Amit? Krishna is speaking that verse. Who is the son of Kunti? No?
Sorry, Prabhu,
Kaunteya. Who is Kaunteya? Who is the son of Kunti? Arjuna, of course.
Arjuna, yeah.
Yes, Arjuna is Kaunteya, because this conversation is between Krishna and Arjuna. So Krishna is speaking. He addressing Arjuna, O son of Kunti. Declare it boldly, my devotee never perishes. So we'll have to look a little bit to the previous, what is out of context. He quickly becomes righteous. Who is he? What? Let's see. Okay. Even if one commits a most abominable action, if he is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. That we had, I remember that very well, Amrita Rati Mataji. Was it you? Or was it... It was you, right?
Regarding what? Sorry, Prabhu, I missed it. Padmanabh had barged in. Yes, sorry.
This text you requested, or was it? No, it was...
Might be Rituvan Prabhu, my husband, possibly.
I think it was the friend of Bhagavati Mataji. I forgot her name now. Who came, he used to come, Polish friend. She's in Poland right now. Like Bhagavati Mataji also.
Ilavati or something. I think her name.
I thought it might have been you. Anyway, this verse can be misused. So what is the text before that? Okay, so that gives us context. Krishna says, I envy no one, nor am I partial to anyone. I'm equal to all. But, so of course Krishna is equal to all. We are all his children. He's our father. The father is not partial. to his sons, he loves them equally. And of course, Krishna is envying no one. Why? Because if you have all the opulences, 100%, how could you envy anyone with some opulences to 20% or 30%? Or so Krishna is so full in himself that he can say, I envy no one. Nobody can say that, except if someone is advanced in Krishna consciousness. Then he becomes just like Krishna in quality. Then a devotee who is fully Krishna conscious, he can also say, I envy no one. Devotees don't envy anyone. Why should we envy anyone? We got Krishna as the most lovable object, the most powerful, the most renounced, the most beautiful, the most knowledgeable. So how can we envy anyone when we have such a personality as Krishna, as our friend, as our lover, our child, whichever? So Krishna is not envying anyone, and we as devotees don't envy anyone. Only material people, materialistic people, say envy constantly someone who has more material opulence, who is richer, who is more learned. So there is envy there. And Krishna is not partial to anyone. That he says here. I'm equal to all. But, now he says a but. But whoever renders service unto me in devotion is a friend. So there is a special relationship described here by Krishna. He may be impartial to everyone, but he is not necessarily a friend to everyone. Welcome, Jayanti Bhai, Hare Krishna. So Krishna is not necessarily a friend to everyone. He will treat everyone impartially in a neutral way. But if someone renders service to him in devotion as a friend, so Krishna is also a friend. He says, such a person is in me, and I'm also a friend to him. So just see, if we want to be friends with Krishna, he will be also friend with us. So that is very nice. Krishna is our friend. So like Arjuna. So that gives us a little bit of context. And then the next verse, even if one, such a devotee, who is a friend, who is closely related to Krishna, even if one commits the most abominable action is judged by this world in very bad terms. But if such a person is engaged in devotional service, he is to be considered saintly, a saint, a sadhu, because he's probably situated in his determination. So Krishna is not judging if out of course we have to mention that, we won't dwell too much on this verse, just passing by her. If someone out of his material conditioning, of millions of lifetimes in this material world, someone has committed so many sinful activities or is conditioned in a material way. And because of this impression in his mind, it means someone who is practicing Krishna consciousness. But due to conditioning in the mind, due to memories, due to karmic reaction, his mind is not pure. So he can fall down from the path of devotional service. Fall down. He can break 1, 2, 3, or 4 principles. Hopefully not all at once. Or he can... so if that happens, if that person is being engaged in devotional service, Krishna says he is considered saintly because he is properly situated in his determination. So how is he properly situated? He carries on with his Krishna consciousness. Devotional service is described like walking on a razor's edge. So walking on a razor's edge is very difficult because one trips down left and right, or a tightrope. I have seen sometimes, perhaps last year or year before in Victoria Park when I do my walking, so there are some people that are practicing tightrope walking. So they have a rope and they put it pretty low, 1 meter above the ground, 1.5 meters. They put it in between 2 trees. And they're going on the rope and they're practicing walking on the rope. And they're jumping off, falling down, jumping off. They're trying to keep their balance. They're trying to keep their balance, but it's very difficult. So on a tightrope, it's very difficult to walk. You have to be very, very balanced. Therefore, some artists, rope artists, say they have a pole which helps them balancing. So devotional service is just like that. We also have a pole balancing our Krishna consciousness, that we don't trip left or to the right. What is our balancing pole? Amit, what would you say? What is the pole which balances us in Krishna consciousness? Amit?
The pole.
You know what I mean? A pole, a big rod, when someone is walking on a rope. So they have this big pole.
Yeah.
Big, like 3, 4 meters, 5 meters even. And by that pole, they're keeping their balance. You can also keep the balance if you stretch your hands, your arms straight, left and right. That helps as a little, but if you have a pole, that's even easier. So that helps them walking on the rope without falling down. So what is our pole on the rope, on the razor's edge of walking on the very narrow paths of devotional service? What is our pole?
Yeah, our commitment to Krishna consciousness.
Yes, that's nice. Amrita Radhe, what do you say? What could be our pole?
The holy name?
The holy name, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. That is our balancing pole. If we stop that, wow, then we are lost. Srila Prabhupada said, whatever happens, never stop chanting Hare Krishna mantra. So that is a tightrope, walking on the tightrope. So if it happens so, we're falling off. Like that example in Victoria Park, young people are practicing walking on that rope, and they make it 2 steps, 3 steps, and then they're jumping off because they're losing balance. What are they doing once they're losing balance? They're on the ground. They immediately get back up on the rope. They don't stay down there and, oh, we're bad, what shall I do now? No. Immediately, because they're fixed in their determination. They're getting up on the rope, try it again. And again they're falling. This time they're falling to the left side. And again they're getting up, and again they're trying. And by practice and experience, then they're walking 3 steps, 5 steps. And eventually they're walking all the way from one tree to the other side. So that's a very important lesson for us. If we fail in our commitments, and that can happen and does happen, particularly at the beginning of our Krishna conscious journey, so we falling off the rope, immediately get back on. Hare Krishna, and immediately back on. And try again. So that is granted due to so much material association, so much previous lifetimes and so much sinful activities that we, at the beginning, we're falling off. But as we go on, it will happen less and less. We don't fall off that easy anymore because we get any experience. We know exactly when Maya, the material energy, is approaching us. We know what triggers any type of material desires in our heart. We know exactly by practice and by experience, and everybody has different triggers to be overcome by the illusory energy. So we learn to know, we learn to avoid those triggers. And if these triggers have been triggered unintentionally, we feel Maya is just about to overcome us, and then, okay, Hare Krishna, we pulling our mind away, fixing the mind back on Krishna's lotus feet. Well, we are saved. There was one devotee, he approached Srila Prabhupada and he said, Srila Prabhupada, Maya is trying to trick me. This illusory energy, this matrix, if you want, is trying to trick us. And Srila Prabhupada said, oh, very good. Oh, what do you mean, Srila Prabhupada? Very good. Maya is trying to trick me. No, very good. You can see when Maya is trying to trick you. You can understand Maya's tricks. They're tricks. Maya has her tricks. And they're very specific to us. She has different tricks. Of course, there's common tricks as well. But she has slightly different tricks for different people, according to their attraction to certain material desires. Because Shastra explains, our eyes, ears, sense of touch, smell, taste, are very individual. We want to enjoy this material energy, Krishna's energy, through these 5 senses and the mind, the 6th sense. So we'll try to enjoy. And that is conditioned. It's not. It looks like our eyes are all the same. It doesn't even look like. Someone has blue eyes, someone has a different shape, and someone has brown eyes, and someone has grayish, greenish eyes. But in one sense we can easily understand. It's the tongue. It's not all the same tongue. It looks like superficially we all have a tongue, yes. But everybody has a different taste. Amit, what is your favorite taste? Sweet, savory, what?
My favorite must be savory.
You see? I like sweets. You like savories. So there are differences. This is conditioned since many, many lifetimes. And according to our desires we cultivate in this lifetime, Shastra says, the material energy gives us a particular type of senses, gives us a particular type of ear, not the shape of the ear, that is also different, but a particular type of ear means a particular taste for hearing a particular sound, a tongue for a particular kind of taste, savory, sweet, and so on, and anything in between. So these are our senses given by material nature because of our desires in a previous life. So that the illusory energy approaches us, and that devotee in that story, Srila Prabhupada said, you can understand when Maya is coming and trying to trick you. Very good. Yes, it is good. Because at the beginning, we cannot even see. Maya is just, the illusory energy is just overcoming us. And we don't even know we are in Maya. That can happen at the beginning when people come to Krishna consciousness, and everybody, or not everybody, but devotees who are a bit advanced in knowledge, they can see this person is completely in Maya, is completely under the illusory energy. But the person who is under the illusory energy, we cannot see her. That is just normal for them. Only by Krishna conscious education and practice and purification, we can see what is Krishna and what is the illusory energy of Krishna. Or as the late Kadamba Kanana Swami used to say, and I liked that very much, a very profound statement. He said, at the stage of Nishta, which is a very advanced stage, Nishta means steadiness. Before Nishta, there comes Shraddha, Sadhu Sangha as a Shraddha, faith, Sadhu Sangha, association of devotees, Bhajana Kriya, engagement in devotional activities, Anartha Nivritti, the long way of purification of the heart and our senses and our mind. And then Ruchi, we're getting a taste for chanting of the holy name and any other Krishna conscious activities. And only after all these stages, we have one by one surpassed. Then we come to Nishta, steadiness. So Kadamba Kanana Swami said, on that stage of Nishta, Maya, the illusory energy, is still there, but she is at a distance. That's very helpful. If Maya is at a distance, not next to us, in the previous stages, when we try to, Anartha Nivritti, we try to purify our heart and our senses and our mind. So Maya is right next to us, next door neighbor, right next to us. So if the illusory energy overcomes us, that happens in a split second. In a split second, the consciousness is drawn away from Krishna and attracted by sense gratification, by fulfillment of our lusty desires. So that is happening. But at the stage of Nishta, Maya is at a distance, Maharaj said. So if Maya is at a distance, there is a little bit of time delay. She trying to trick us, to attack us, to overcome us, so we can see her coming. Very good. We can see her coming in advance. We can prepare ourselves. Oh, illusory energy is trying to catch us out. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Or in any other way, we draw our mind away into Krishna's lotus feet. Because if we contemplate the object of the senses for a little bit too long, then attachment will come. From attachment, lust develops. From lust, anger arises. And we know Bhagavad Gītā, that is a fall down into the material pool. From anger, delusion of memory, intelligence is lost. All this gradual can actually go very quick. We're falling down to material consciousness, means into illusion. So a little bit too much contemplating the object of the senses. Contemplating. Maya is very attractive. Very attractive. In all her different forms. Why? Because she's Krishna's energy. Daiviyesha gunamai mama maya. Mama maya, my maya, duratyaya, is difficult to overcome. Krishna says, she is divine. That's Krishna's energy. Maya is Krishna's energy. So one may ask, why is Krishna deploying this Maya? Why is he putting us into this illusion? Well, this illusion is there. It is up to us if we want to come out of this illusion. Since the very beginning, this illusory energy is there because we came to this material world. We left the shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Who is to be blamed? Krishna or us? We are to be blamed. We came here. Why we came here? We want to enjoy. We want to be controller, supreme controller. We want to be Krishna. We are envious of Krishna. Why he should enjoy? Everybody is giving enjoyment to Krishna. What about me? Why is they not giving enjoyment to me? I should be Krishna. I should be the controller. I should be the enjoyer. Therefore, that's the reason we came to this material world. And Krishna says, okay, you want to imitate me? You want to enjoy? Yes, go. Go to the material world. There you can enjoy to your heart's content. But, there's always a but. But, there is a drawback. What's that? There is repeated birth and death, old age and disease. It's not a place for a gentleman. It's not a place for a permanent home. It's a place of constant change. And the illusion we are chasing is just an illusion. We'll never reach it. Like a mirage in the desert. A mirage. Water. Desert. We're walking in the desert. We got lost. We're walking for days and days and our water's running out. And then we are so thirsty. No water. And then we see in the distance, there is some flickering, a flimmering. Oh, that is like water. Like waves of water. We're running towards it and we're running deeper into the desert, but we'll never reach it because it's an illusion. It's a mirage. So, therefore, this being in this material world becomes very frustrating, very exhausting. The senses are never really satisfied. We're trying to satisfy the senses, thinking if I just have this to taste, this to see, to hear, to touch, I'll be happy. Right? The happiness eludes us. There is a little bit, we cannot call it happiness. There's a little bit of sensual relief. The senses, if we eat some, the stomach is also not just the tongue, the stomach. Once the stomach is filled, then there's some relief. Or if we're hankering after something sweet or savory, if we eat something sweet or savory, there's some relief. Now the senses, the tongue has very much been pushing, and the mind, I must have something nice to taste now. I crave for it. I must have it. So once we have it, there is a little bit of relief for a little bit of time until the tongue again wants what, and the mind wants what, something else. So we know that very well. We have spoken about that many times. One desire chases another desire. We're fulfilling one of our material desires, the next desire is immediately there, shouting out, now fulfill me, run after me. And we fulfill that desire, then the next desire is born. So never reaching, like the mirage will never reach. Another example is the donkey. The donkey and the carrot. You have seen pictures that story is well known, that you're sitting on the donkey doesn't want to walk, he's lazy. So we take a stick with a carrot, a stick and a string, and dangling the carrot in front of the donkey. And the donkey will walk because he thinks, now I walk one more step and I will catch the carrot. But because we're sitting on the donkey, the carrot walks along with the donkey and the donkey will never reach the carrot. But thinking, one more. And then I will be happy. I will eat the carrot. So material life is just like that. One more. If I get a nice house, a little bit bigger house, I will be happy. If I get this car, I will be happy. If I have a bigger television screen, I will be happy. If I get married to a beautiful woman, my wife, I'll be happy. If my children are very nice and obedient, and if they get a good education, I'll be happy. Once I have grandchildren, I will be happy. And we're chasing after, but the happiness eludes us. So the carrot is never reached. So that is material life. So if Maya is in a distance and we see her coming with her tricks, we can well prepare us. We be prepared. Maya is coming, okay. Change our consciousness. Quickly take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Hare Krishna. So that's the stage of Nishta. What to speak of the earlier stages? Well, Maya is not at a distance. So by practicing on that tightrope, we will learn to walk on the tightrope with less and less falling down. It becomes successful, fully successful. We walk from the one side of the tree to the other tree. So Krishna is saying in that verse, if we are properly situated in our determination, we are determined to become Krishna conscious. We are determined not to fall down. We are determined not to break any principles. We are determined that we are not overcome by the illusory energy. And we are properly situated. What does that mean? We are properly situated because we don't give up the chanting of Hare Krishna. That is properly situated. We are engaged in devotional service by chanting, Shravanam Kirtanam. Smaranam as well, remembering Krishna. And many other services, from deity worship to this to that. Hearing is also reading, of course. Therefore, reading is so important. So Krishna says in that verse, even if one falls down, he steps down from the tightrope, he can't keep his balance. But he is engaged in devotional service. He is getting back on the road. He is considered saintly. He is considered successful already because he's probably situated in his determination. Accidental fall down, by accident, due to being engaged in material sense gratification for millions of births. That's one thing. But if we think, and that also exists, if we take this verse and we think, oh, we take it lightly, it doesn't matter if I fall down, if I break the principle. It doesn't really matter. We just chant Hare Krishna afterwards. That will purify me again. That's the greatest offense. Right? Because, why is it the greatest offense? Because we using the holy name. We don't serve the holy name. We using the holy name for our own purposes. Okay, I get contaminated by sense gratification. Then I chant Hare Krishna and my mind and heart will be scrubbed clean again. So we're using the holy name in our service to the material energy. So that's an offense. And there is only one remedy. What's a remedy? Well, okay, let's ask this question. Otherwise, we don't want anybody falling asleep. What's a remedy to that? Amrita Radhe Mataji. Because that is offensive. If that's an offense, it's written in the 10 offenses. If we still keeping material attachments, even after hearing so many instructions on these matters. So what's a remedy?
Basically, you should keep your promise of following the 4 regulative principles. At least that much one should do.
Of course, at least that much. But what if these offenses, if that is so, it's easy to say, oh, just follow the regulative principles. Well, we just broke them. And thinking I can chant Hare Krishna and I will be purified again. So what is the remedy? How can we cure such a mentality?
Shravanam?
Continuous chanting. Right? If we commit offenses, that is Srila Prabhupada is saying, and Shastra is saying, and Shaiva Dharma is saying by Bhaktivinoda Thakur, if we commit offenses, offensive chanting, nam aparat, and thinking, keeping material attachments, even after hearing so many instructions on this matter, that is nam aparat. And chanting Hare Krishna and thinking, premeditated, not accidental fall down. Premeditated. Oh, taking it lightly. Okay, I can engage in some sinful activity. And I chant Hare Krishna and everything will be all right again. So these are also nam aparat, this offense against the holy name. So what is a remedy? Continuous chanting. Against nam aparat, continuous chanting. Just keep on chanting all the time, all the time. Then it's interesting remedy. It's just like we are on a parikram. We have given that example before. Let's say around Govardhan Hill. I have personally experienced that. There, finally we come to a beautiful stretch where there is fine, fine sand, soft sand. So walking barefoot on that soft sand is very nice. But like everything in life. If things are very nice and easy, there's always something to spoil it. And what spoils it? There are some kind of thorny bushes right and left. And these thorny bushes, they have some, I don't know what it is. They have some heads after flowering, I guess so, which are prickles. And they're blown into the sandy path. And we walk nice, enjoying the sandy, soft sand barefoot, and you got a thorn, a prickle in our foot. And the feet are very, very sensitive, very sensitive. Also, Krishna's feet are very sensitive. Therefore, committing offense against Krishna's lotus feet, because they're so soft like a lotus. A lotus is very soft, very delicate. So Krishna's feet are very delicate. So we committing offenses against his lotus feet. We coming with our material desire. So Krishna, he feels with his feet, he feels the pain we are causing him. We don't want to cause Krishna any pain. We want to cause him pleasure. That's our affection and love. So we're getting a thorn in our feet, soft feet. What to do? We have nothing. We don't have tweezers. We have nothing to take it out, and we cannot continue walking. How can you walk with a thorn in your foot? Every time you're stepping on it, it hurts. So there is a method. You take another thorn instead of a pair of tweezers. You take a thorn instead of a needle, which we don't have. You take a thorn, and with a thorn, you're taking the thorn out of your foot. Right? That's an example. Taking a thorn and taking the thorn out with a thorn in our foot. That is like we chanting offensively. One of the 10 offenses, particular, we talked about maintaining material attachments even after hearing so many instructions on this matter. So we know we have the knowledge, but we'll have to give up the offenses. So attachment, the material attachment. It's like, and the remedy to chanting with offenses is just keep on chanting, more chanting, continuous chanting. That's a remedy. And eventually we'll conquer. And our chanting will become pure. Or in the example of the tightrope, you fall down, back on it. Practice, 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 practice. And these people in Victoria Park, they have come every weekend, practice, more practice, and they continuously do practice. Otherwise, how will they learn? So, Krishna says, even if one falls down, abominable action, we break the principle, one or the other out of the four. It's abominable. If we engage in illicit sex life, it's abominable. If we engage in intoxication by some previous habits, we just suddenly take a cigarette and smoke. Or we take a glass of, we are with friends and everybody is drinking some wine. Okay, well, I'll have to drink some wine as well to be social. No, we don't. That we're falling down. We're breaking the principles. No intoxication. Or we are addicted to tea. Since small childhood, our parents have drunken tea. And we have been brought up with tea. Actually, when I was a child, at a certain age, the parents always drank tea. Also in Germany, people are more inclined to drinking coffee. But in our families, there was tea in the evening. So, and we couldn't understand the parents drinking tea, but we got some milk. I also want tea. So eventually we got some tea diluted with a lot of milk. And maybe later on less milk. And at a certain age, it was just tea. But that's nothing in compare to coming from an Indian background. So that tea drinking, that conditioning, which I got, I'm never addicted to tea drinking. I never took to it. I didn't like the taste. Nicer coffee, no, not very much. So that conditioning has gone a long time. It's not a problem at all of drinking tea or coffee. But coming from an Indian background, it's a big thing. Amit, you knows it, Rashmi knows it, everybody knows it. People are addicted to drinking tea. And then they're trying to get away from it, and then they do decaffeinated tea, decaf coffee. That is a bridge that helps us. And eventually we'll give up that as well. Because it's also not nice. We want to enjoy the taste of tea. But we know that we should not take any intoxication, otherwise we break the principle. So we take decaf tea. We still have the taste, but without breaking the principle. So eventually we have to get away from that as well. It's just like some people, they're becoming vegetarian. So they're buying some soy meat, which looks like meat, like a sausage, for instance, which tastes like meat, but it is soy, it's not meat. So that may be an interim step that may help us until we come to the stage we don't like the taste of the meat. We don't like to look at the form of the meat. Some people, some vegetarians, they don't know anything beyond sausages made from soy. Taste like sausages, look like sausages. They're stuck on that platform because they don't have the facility of eating Krishna prasadam and getting a higher taste. They're staying on that stage. I remember when my son, Sundar Gopal, when he did his graduation at Cambridge University, he had his main tutor. He said, my tutor is actually a vegetarian. I said, oh, wow. He's a vegetarian. He's a professor. He's one of the top professors at Cambridge. Very well respected and so on. So he introduced me to him. We talked a little bit. And we talked about him being vegetarian. And then he admitted, I be strict vegetarian, but once a year, I have to eat some meat. I cannot without. Once a year, I just have to eat some meat. So what does that say? That professor, he forcibly is staying away from the meat, which is good. But the taste for the meat has never left him, because the desire becomes so strong that once a year he has to indulge in it. There's no higher taste. For a devotee, it's not like that. The devotee, okay, once a year now I have to eat some meat. No, the taste has completely disappeared. Personally, I don't even remember how meat tastes. I don't remember, honestly. Nor did I ever enjoy it. I was brought up in a normal family, meat was there. We were rather on the poor side, and said, children actually don't like the taste of meat. They don't like, by nature, most children, generally. But the parents forcing them. So we had some very dry and difficult to chew meat on a Sunday. Just imagine, on a Sunday. There was meat only on a Sunday as a special treat. Not like nowadays, there's meat every day. Most people have some kind of meat products every single day. And if they want something quick to eat, then the McDonald's in the burger and so on and so on. No, there was meat once a week on a Sunday. And that was so dry. I chew and chew. And my father said, if you don't eat your meat, you will not become strong. That was an argument. If I would have known better, if I would have known then what I know now, I would have just said, but Daddy, the elephant is so strong, but he doesn't eat any meat. I think I would have completely defeated his argument. If you don't eat meat, you don't become strong. Anyway, so what I did on the Sunday with this dry meat, I accumulated it in my cheek. I couldn't just get it down. The taste wasn't nice, and the structure wasn't nice, and you could chew on it for hours. And then I kept it in my cheek, and on the excuse of going to the bathroom, to the toilet, I'll spit it out. So that was my regular. Parents did not know, of course. So children by nature said don't like meat, but they are forced with various arguments. They have no choice. Once I said to Krishna, he was much younger, I said, children have little choice. I think it was also in connection of meat eating. And he said, no, they don't have little choice. They have no choice. So I had to agree, yes, you're right. They don't have little choice. Children have no choice. Okay, back to the verse. If one is properly situated in his determination, Krishna is saying he still is saintly. The other example, which has been given also many times, you are in the shower. You had done a very dirty job of cleaning the house, of doing the garden, of fixing the car, and now you take a shower. And you're in the shower, and someone is saying, you are so dirty. What's the point? What's the point of saying you're so dirty? It's only a question of time. 5 minutes, 10 minutes. I'm already in the shower. So the dirt will be washed away in no time. So what's the point of saying you're dirty? I'm in the shower. I'm in the process. That's the main thing. I'm in the process. And I will be clean. In 5, 10 minutes, I will be clean. Or, as a devotee, you have heard this story, I believe so, who was chanting in the corridor and upstairs, like at Bhaktivedanta Manor. And Srila Prabhupada's room was just next to the corridor, and he could hear Srila Prabhupada. He was also chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna. So he felt the urge to ask Srila Prabhupada if he could also become a pure devotee like Srila Prabhupada. So he knocked on the door, and as he knocked, he was afraid. Oh, What have I done? Disturbing Srila Prabhupada. I hope he hasn't heard it, but immediately he heard from inside, come in. So there he was, in the corner, didn't know what to say. And Srila Prabhupada kept walking up and down, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. So at one point he stopped and he said, so? And then the devotee asked, Srila Prabhupada, I know you are a pure devotee, but can I also become a pure devotee? But Srila Prabhupada didn't answer immediately. He kept on walking up and down, Hare Krishna, and the devotee got worried. What will he say? And then he stopped and he said, why not? You are in the process, right? That's important. You're in the process, like in the shower. Will I become clean? Yes, why not? You're in the shower. That's a process. And then he kept on walking again, up and down. Then he stopped again after some time and he said, but it may take some time. Right? So it may take some time, a bit of time. In the shower, will I also become clean? Yes, but it may take a little bit of time. Just wash yourself. 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you will be clean. So it may take some time. So let's go back to sharing. Let's look at that next verse. That's our verse tonight in the context. He quickly becomes righteous. We could say, he who is standing in the shower quickly becomes clean. He quickly becomes righteous and attains lasting peace. In our example, he becomes quickly clean and clean, yes. O son of Kunti, declare it boldly that my devotee will never perish. Okay, Amit, purport.
This should not be misunderstood. In the 7th chapter, the Lord says that one who is engaged in mischievous activities cannot become a devotee of the Lord. One who is not a devotee of the Lord has no qualification whatsoever. The question remains then, how can a person engage in abominable activities, either by accident or by intention, be a pure devotee? This question may justly be raised. The miscreants, as stated in the 7th chapter, who never come to the devotional service of the Lord, have no qualification, as it is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Generally, a devotee who is engaged in the 9 kinds of devotional activities is engaged in the process of cleansing all material contamination from the heart.
Amit, what are the 9 kinds of devotional activities? At least come up with some of them.
Yeah, so chanting.
Yes.
Yeah, so you need, I mean, the devotional activity, so you don't eat meat.
Yes, that is a negative. We're speaking here about the positive, like chanting.
Okay, in having engaging in bhakti yoga.
Hearing. It starts with hearing. So this 9 kinds of devotional services is very important. It's There's a verse, Shravanam Kirtanam Vishnu Smaranam Patasevanam Archanam Vandanam Dasyam Sakyam Atmani Vedanam. And that is hearing, then is chanting, then is remembering Krishna and offering services to his lotus feet, praying, Vandanam, and these are some of the 9 types of devotional activities. Carry on. He puts
Okay.
down as a
puts-
button. Yeah. Sorry, something has happened here. I'll get rid of that. Again.
You escape. Just press your escape key.
Oh no, I got completely out of. Give me a second. It's always happening.
Just press the X in the corner, yeah. And then there's another X in the corner there as well.
Well, I try to. Okay, yes. He puts the
He puts the Supreme Personality of Godhead within his heart, and all sinful contamination naturally washed away. Continuous thinking of the Supreme Lord makes him pure by nature. According to the Vedas, there is a certain regulation that if one falls down from his exalted position, he has to undergo certain ritualistic processes to purify himself. But here, there is no such condition, because the purifying process is already there in the heart of the devotee, due to his remembering the Supreme Personality of Godhead constantly. Therefore, chanting of Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare should be continued without stoppage. This will protect the devotee from all accidental fall downs. He will thus remain perpetually free from all material contamination.
Okay, thank you. Very nice. Very, very nice. Amrita Rate has gone. Prakash, you're still here. I'm surprised. We'll finish in the next 5 minutes. Hare Krishna. Well done, Prakash. So, there are certain ritualistic processes which are technically called prayashchitta. If one falls down from his exalted position. Being a devotee is a very exalted position. Keeping the 4 regulations and chanting Hare Krishna is a very exalted position. Why exalted? Because how many people can do that? Today I send you a very nice text where Srila Prabhupada says, and there is a verse in Bhagavad Gītā, out of thousands of perfected souls, it is very rare to find one that is a pure devotee of God. It's very rare. Very, very rare. Even amongst thousands of perfected souls. If you sell diamonds, Srila Prabhupada says here, you cannot expect to have many customers. But a diamond is a diamond, even if there are no customers. So that is just underlining how rare it is. And therefore, exalted position. A diamond is a very exalted, it's the most exalted gem stone altogether. So being a devotee who follows all the principles and chants Hare Krishna is a very exalted position. So there are some prayashchitta regulations. If one falls down from his exalted position, it can happen by inexperience. He has to undergo certain ritualistic processes to purify himself. So there's certain rituals one has to perform. But Srila Prabhupada says, chanting Hare Krishna, remembering Krishna, is so potent. This is a purifying process, more potent than any rituals to perform, to purify oneself. So just by chanting Hare Krishna and remembering Krishna, one can easily purify himself. If by accident one has fallen from that exalted position. But important here, Srila Prabhupada says, therefore the chanting of Hare Krishna should be continued without stoppage. Same thing as explained earlier on. If we fall from our exalted position, don't stop chanting. Even you feel so bad, so bad, so guilty, or whatever feelings that one might think, what's the point of chanting here? I'm so fallen. No. You're tripping down from that tightrope, immediately get back on. Don't stop chanting. So it should be continued without stoppage. This, Srila Prabhupada writes here, will protect the devotee from all accidental fall downs. It's a protection. The chanting is a protection. It's like a vaccination. Thus, he will remain perpetually free from all material contamination. So that's important. Chanting Hare Krishna is like a vaccination. We all have, not all, but we remember COVID, and we got the COVID vaccine, and we think that will protect me. And so this chanting of Hare Krishna is like a vaccination. It will protect us from accidental fall down, because we're constantly thinking of Krishna, hearing and chanting. So the question can be raised, this verse. Krishna says, Arjuna, Kaunteya, you declare it to the whole world. My devotee will never perish. Will never perish. What is another word for perish? Will never be vanquished, you could say. Will always be successful. Even there may be struggles at the beginning. So the question is, why is Krishna asking Arjuna to declare it to the whole world? Kaunteya pratichanihi nam me bhakta nashyati, my devotee will never perish. Why doesn't Krishna declare it himself? Why is asking Arjuna to declare it? What could be the argument? Prakash, what do you say? Why is Krishna asking Arjuna to declare it to the whole world? Krishna's devotees will always be protected, will never perish. Are you there, Prakash? Amit, what do you think? What could be a reason? Why? Important point.
Can you repeat the question again, please?
Why is Krishna not saying directly, my devotee will never perish? Why is Krishna saying, Arjuna, you say it, you declare it, my devotee will never perish? Why is not Krishna saying it directly? Why is going through Arjuna?
Interesting. Prabhu,
Interesting question, right? So the answer has been given. Because Krishna, sometimes he is not keeping his word, right? On the battlefield, Mahabharat, Krishna says, I will not fight. Just one example. I will not fight. I will be just your chariot driver. But then when Bhishma Dev, Pitamaha, when he attacked Arjuna so fiercely with arrows, he was determined to kill Arjuna. Also, Krishna has said, I will not fight. But for his devotee, he was ready to break his promise. And he did. He jumped from the chariot and took the wheel which had come off and furiously was running towards Bhishma to kill him. Because to protect his dearmost devotee and friend Arjuna. Of course, Arjuna pleaded for him. Don't do it. Don't break your promise. Krishna, you promised not to fight, and now you're fighting for my sake. So, and Bhishma, that is what he wanted to see. He wanted to see Krishna breaking his promise for his devotee. He wanted to see Krishna in a very furious state. Because Bhishma was a Kshatriya. Krishna was not meditating. Bhishma was not meditating on Krishna holding the flute, being the lover of the gopis, being the friend of the cowherd damsels of Raj and the cowherd boys. That was not his meditation. Bhishma's meditation was seeing Krishna as a Kshatriya, as a warrior, as a fighter, angry. So, Bhishma has left this world and went to Vaikuntha. He wanted to see the Lord. His Lord was Narayan, not two-handed Krishna, playing the flute. So he didn't go to Goloka, Vrindavan. His taste, his meditation was suitable to go to Vaikuntha and serve Lord Narayan. So sometimes it happens for a higher purpose. Even Krishna has made promises, I will not fight. That for the sake of his devotee, he breaks his promise. So therefore, if Krishna says, my devotee will never perish, then some people might think, oh, Krishna, he has broken his promise before, so he has not always been truthful. So maybe he is declaring my devotee will never perish. Maybe that is true, maybe that is not true. Therefore, Krishna says, no, you declare it, Arjuna. Because a devotee's word will never go in vain. If a devotee declares something, then Krishna will make sure the devotee's, pure devotee's, word is fulfilled. There's not one instance, not a single instance, where Krishna will not make sure the vow, the blessing, the word of his devotees will not be fulfilled. Because out of great love for his devotees, Krishna, for his pure devotees, Krishna makes sure their word is fulfilled. We stop in a moment. One example, for instance, where we know the story of Prahlad and Hiranyakashipu, who got all the benediction. The demon, Hiranyakashipu, he got the benediction. He will not be killed. By who he got the benediction? By Lord Brahma, who is a great devotee of Krishna. Lord Brahma gave him the benediction after he performed great austerities. So great. We cannot even imagine. So he gave him the benediction. Yes. He asked, I will become immortal. Lord Brahma said, no, I cannot make you immortal because I'm not immortal myself. There you have to go to Vishnu, but Vishnu was his enemy. So then he said, okay, then don't let me be killed in the house or outside of the house, not at day, not at night, not by human, not by animal, and. And Brahma said, Tadashta, yes, so be it. He fulfilled him all his desires. And Hiranyakashipu thought he was immortal. Then, when Lord Nrsimhadev appeared, he did not he could have just killed him anyway. But because Brahma has promised that he won't be killed in the house and not out, not by human, not by animal. So Krishna took on that form of half lion, half man. Because it's not a human, it's not an animal. He killed him on the doorstep, not in the house, not out of the house. He killed him at twilight, not in the day, not at night. So he fulfilled all Lord Brahma's promises. That's just one example. So if a big devotee, a great devotee like Lord Brahma, a pure devotee, if he has any vow, any promise, Krishna will, without fail, fulfill that. So therefore, if Arjuna says, Kauntya pratijanihi me bhakta pranashyati, my devotee will never perish. If Arjuna says, then the whole world will know that that is the truth. That the Lord never lets down his devotee. Never. Krishna may break his promise, but Krishna will make sure that the promise of his devotee will never be broken. So that's why Krishna is not saying it himself, but is asking Arjuna, you declare it, Arjuna. Then everybody, the whole world, for generations and generations, they will understand. My devotee will never perish. That's the truth. Okay, any question?
No questions for me, Prabhu. Thank you. That was quite interesting.
There were a lot of points. A lot of points. These verses we read today, 3 verses. So very nice. Very nice. And then we're building up. The following verses are also very nice. Maybe we can discuss later. So that gives us a little bit of an idea how that relationship between the devotee and the Lord is very, very special. So shall we stop here?
Thank you, Prabhu. Yes.
Okay. Thank you for coming.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Jayanti Bhai, Prakash, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, everyone. See you on Saturday. Hare Bol.
Prabhu, so I meant to ask you,
Yep.
I can't make it Saturday. I'm working. I'll try to make it.
Yep.
I'll have to pick up my scarf sometime. Is that Saturday's the only best time, is it?
No, give me a call. Evening is usually good.
Yeah.
After when it's getting dark, because
Yeah.
I will be at home when it's getting dark.
Okay, no problem.
Morning
give
is
you a
another
call.
possibility. Morning before midday, after midday. No, sometimes I'm walking in the morning. Evening would be best. 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock.
Okay. Okay, thank you, Prabhu.
Give me a call before you come.
I will do, definitely. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.